I am seeing a lot of hopelessness and apathy after the passing of this big, ugly bill. I think a lot of people are feeling defeated right now because they felt as though they put in a lot of work. They protested, they called and emailed their reps, but the bill was still passed. And a lot of people don't realize that there are still ways we can fight this, block this, and even repeal it. And if you are someone who is feeling very defeated and apathetic right now, like your actions don't matter, your voice doesn't matter, your efforts don't work, I'm here to showcase why I know that our efforts are working and why I know that the pressure on our representatives is making them scared. It's making them scared of losing their seats next election cycle, even if they have in the past felt as though their seats were secure. I live in the second reddest district in the United States. Most people have no idea who their representative is. They just go to the polls and they check the box next to whoever has an R by their name. I have had people come up to me while I'm holding a sign with Diana's name on it, and they ask, "Who's Diana?" Because they just don't know. They know nothing about our representative. They don't know that she is too afraid to debate her opponents. They don't know that she violated the Stock Act and failed to disclose up to millions in stocks. They don't know that she was buying and trading defense stocks around the time that Russia was invading Ukraine. They don't know that her husband was sentenced to 4 years in federal prison for taking Chinese medications at their pharmacy and disguising them as American-made drugs and selling them to kidney dialysis patients. And at the same time that this was going on, Diana was campaigning against our American reliance on Chinese medications. And yet she still won. But she didn't win because people know who she is. She didn't win because people appreciate her policies or think that she stands for them. She won because she has an R next to her name. And she feels safe enough to kind of skate by without actually interacting with her constituents, without being in the community, spending more time on photo ops and with her corporate donors than listening to those who voted for her and those who didn't vote for her but have concerns. And I bring all this up because it's important to understand that once people in your community start becoming aware and they start taking action, that is when your representatives start getting nervous and working harder to secure their seat for the next election. Yesterday, there was a Republican picnic event in Kingsport, and Diana was in attendance. And at this event, she was pleading with her audience, with the attendees, to get out and vote. In the Kingsport Times News, it says, she stressed the importance of maintaining a Republican majority in Congress, citing the need to rein in federal spending and pass conservative legislation. If we don't hold the House and Senate, we cannot continue to do what we're doing, stopping the deficit spending, passing reconciliation bills. We've got $36 trillion in debt. We've got to cut the deficit and get that number down. She said, right now, we're kind of complacent. We're getting everything done, but we have to remember, when Trump's not on the ballot, a lot of people don't turn out. That's a problem. She is concerned about complacency. She's concerned about voter turnout. She just won her seat several months back. This isn't an election year. She's not up for re-election until later next year. And yet she's already out there begging people to get out and vote. Now, this would not be abnormal. People campaign, you know, they try to stay relevant, but I decided to look and see if she attended last year's picnic in 2024, because that was an election year. It was several months before the election, and I would think that if this is a normal habit of hers, that she would have been saying the same thing last year. But when I looked up last year's picnic, I didn't see anything about her in attendance. And the article that was posted by Times News talked about her son, who is a state senator, but it didn't bring up Diana at all. So I can only conclude that she didn't even attend this Republican picnic last year, which means she wasn't begging people to vote for her at this Republican picnic last year, a few months before the election. Diana won't even debate her opponents because she's too scared to. She doesn't really know what she's doing, and she probably doesn't know half of the stuff she's signing and what she's promoting. She just knows that she was put in a position by a lot of people who want her there in a very safe red district, and she doesn't actually have to do much to keep her seat. And she can go and lie to her constituents' faces and, in her mind, still get a vote. Because she told them at this picnic, we've got to cut the deficit. But 4 days prior, She was voting to increase the deficit by trillions of dollars over the next decade. She voted on one thing and then turned around and told her constituents something completely different. And that's not surprising, but it's important that we keep raising awareness and we talk about this and we watch what our Republican representatives are doing and what they're saying. How are they handling the pushback? Because in my area, there are thousands and thousands of people who have been rising up, protesting, calling, showing up at mobile offices, showing up at her door. The resistance is growing in East Tennessee. And you can fact check me on this, but last I heard, our No Kings protest was a historic turnout in protest for our area. That we had more people attending this protest than we've ever seen at protests in the past. This bill was one of the most unpopular bills in the history of America. And anyone who was aware of what was in it did not like it. Even conservatives, even MAGA voters, even Fox News talked about how unpopular this bill was. It doesn't help anybody. It funnels money away from taxpayer benefits, things that help people, things that reduce crime because it feeds people and makes sure they're well, and reduces the amount of crimes of necessity, people who are committing crimes because they're in a hard space and can't get any help. This bill funnels money away from taxpayers, away from their benefits and things that helps them, and puts directly into the ICE budget, the defense budget, to send more masked men into our communities to watch us. And they want us to feel as though we can't resist. And that is where the money's going right now. And I don't think that most taxpayers, if they really knew this and they were aware of it, would like it. Diana knows this, and she's getting a lot of pushback right now. And so she's having to go out into the community and beg people for votes when it's not even an election year. She's starting real early. That tells me the pressure is working. That tells me she's nervous about losing her seat. And she knows if the right person comes in and stands up and says, I won't take corporate dollars. I will listen to my constituents. I won't vote on bills that harm the community. I will vote to uplift the community, to feed people, to give them health care. I'll make sure hospitals don't close down. I will listen to you and I will work for you, not for the president, not for my corporate donors, not for my own bank account, but for you, the voters. She knows if somebody stands up on either side of the aisle, Democrat, Republican, or an independent in between, that she has a chance of losing her spot because people aren't happy. I have spoken with people who voted for Trump or voted for Diana in this area and do not like what she's doing. They're not happy with this. So I'm bringing this to you today because I want you to have hope, and I want you to remember that just because you don't see it doesn't mean that your efforts aren't working, and that every small action counts just as much as the big actions do. That we all play a role. We all have a part to play. Whether that's just waking up and making calls, using ResistBot to send a fax or a text message or an email, showing up at protests, going to meetings, organizing boycotts, strikes, sit-ins, whatever we need to do to resist this administration and to preserve our freedoms, preserve our republic, and to have a better future. A future that doesn't involve filling billionaire pockets while those around us suffer, while those around us are hungry. We are sending too much money to places we don't need to be sending it to that doesn't help the American people. Israel, so that they can continue killing Palestinians, committing genocide against them. ICE, so they can wear masks and go around our towns, terrorizing our communities and picking up gardeners and nannies and people who are just trying to get by and make a few dollars. And they're lying. They're lying to their voters. They're lying to their constituents about what their intentions are, what they're trying to accomplish. And they assume that their voters, the people in their district, are just not smart enough, just not educated and informed enough, and that they can get away with lying because those people aren't paying attention. But those people are paying attention now. We are waking up, and people who have never been politically active are getting active and engaged. And so I'm asking you, if you have not become active and engaged, to do so. If you are feeling apathetic because of the passing of this bill and you think all hope is lost, all hope is not lost. We still have our power. There's still great power in the people, and we can resist this. We can block this. We can flip the House, get a big blue wave, and repeal this horrid bill and undo some of the damage that has already been done and try to rebuild from there. We have a year to get to work, to get people in, to get people to run, to campaign for them, to register to people to vote, and to get these people out of office that do not represent us. Diana Harshbarger, Marsha Blackburn, Haggerty, all of these people in Tennessee that are multi-millionaires and work for their corporate donors do not represent the people of Tennessee or the people of Appalachia, the people of their district. I believe that the people around here will wake up and that they will resist this. And I know that they already are in the second reddest district in the United States. So keep working, keep going at it, keep making your calls, do not get discouraged, and let this be that light that you need, that reminder that the GOP is getting nervous. They're quitting. They are, people are calling on them to resign. People are running that would have never thought of running before. It is going to be a wild 2026 when election time is near. And so we need to be prepared for that. And we need to keep fighting even more than we were before. And just because this bill passed doesn't mean all hope is lost. And it doesn't mean we can't still block it, fight it, and resist it every step of the way. Use 5calls.org to call your representatives daily. You can email them, you can fax them, you can show up at their office and demand that staff take your concerns.
Hi, we're here because we want Diana to vote no on HR 1. This is very important. Okay. She's getting calls all day long, I know she is. I've talked to people who are calling her. They are telling her to vote no. This is not a popular bill with the American public. Fox News is even putting out polls that say the American public does not want this. It's going to be the largest transfer of wealth from the working class people to billionaires and corporations. Does she understand that? She does understand that.
Find their mobile offices. If they aren't publishing them, because my congresswoman stopped publishing her mobile offices, you can contact staff and ask where they're going to be and when they're going to be. And if they're setting up mobile offices, they're going to have to tell you, or they're going to risk hiding from their constituents, which also isn't a good look.
Can you guys start advertising your mobile offices again on social media?
They're advertising on social media.
Where?
Facebook, Twitter.
I follow Diana on Facebook. I see every single thing she posts, and I have not seen any.
We have standing satellite office hours. I think in your county they're at the courthouse.
And I like
alternating. I think it's the first Tuesday.
And they used to advertise them, and they don't advertise them anymore on Facebook.
They're still standing. I mean, they're
right, but they need to be advertised.
Yep. No matter which way you spin it, they're all backed into a corner. And so we have the power, we have the leverage right now, and we need to utilize it. We need to maintain our confidence and keep moving forward. Keep working. What we're doing is putting a fire underneath their feet, whether you see it or not. It's there, it's happening, they are scared. Keep applying pressure.